Hi there and welcome to the Barbara Young channel and welcome to my Friday Sews. So first of all, I'd just like to say thank you to Jen from Today in Jen's Sewing Room for creating the hashtag Friday Sews. So what sort of week have I had? Slow week? Yeah. Why break a habit of a lifetime? Don't want to change anything. So yeah, slow week, but I have made something. So let's have a look at what I have done. So I have made something this week and it is a Pinafore dress. It's actually the one I'm wearing right now. Of course you can't see it because I've got this jumper on over the top of it because it's been a bit cold here in the UK. To say the least, not as cold as some places. Obviously I know that there are other places in the world that are much colder than what we're getting in the UK, but it is quite cold for the UK. You know, we're hovering around that 0 degrees with frost and snow and rain and bad weather and all the rest that goes along with being in winter. So there we go. Anyway, back to the dress. Yeah, I've made this dress, this Pinafore dress, from a self-drafted pattern, and I have made it before. The last time I made it, I actually used this Laura Ash material. So those of you who watch regularly will recognise this lovely material. And that's when I made it last time. I made it out of this material and I thought, yeah, I like that. Decided I wanted another one. So I had a look through, see if I could find some material that would suit. And I found this that I'd got in my stash. Now this was actually given to me by a friend of mine, a lovely friend, for, I actually think it was not this Christmas just gone, but the Christmas before. So I've had it for a little bit. So yeah, and there's plenty here still got quite a bit of it. So I could even make another Pinafore dress from this or something else maybe, because I've got a Pinafore dress from it. Look at that, it's got foxes on it. Brilliant. I do like fox print material. I've got quite a bit. I've got a couple of different items that have got a different fox print on it, but that's just brilliant. I just love that. These different coloured foxes on there. Now the Laura Ashley one material is it was a linen something else mix, so it's a linen mix, but I think it's an upholstery material. This on the other hand I believe is a cotton, and it's a cotton canvas, so again it's quite durable and has quite a lot of structure to it. So yeah, really nice to work with. I really enjoyed making that, and that's just a brilliant material. Like I say, I've got plenty left that I can make something else with. I'm not sure what I'm going to make with it, but I can make something else. So I suppose what I ought to do is stand up and show you it. I'll take this jumper off and we'll have a proper look. And here we are, the dress in full. And those of you who have watched my other video, who do watch my channel, you will probably recognise this particular Pinafore from the other one that I've already made, the Laura Ashley one. Only this time, I know, it sort of looks a little bit different to me because of the fact that it's a different material. It's got a different pattern to it. It just seems to, I don't know, sit a little differently. One thing I have noticed, which I thought was a bit strange, was the fact that this one seems a little bit longer than the Laura Ashley one, even though my pattern, I'd not changed it at all. It just seems to be a bit longer. Don't know why that is, just how it's come out, I suppose. Like I say, this material sewed up really, really nicely. So I'm really happy with the way it's come out. Again, I've got the two big pockets on the side that I just sandwiched in on the seam line and then stitched across the bottom. I've done it so it's lined on the inside, which is brilliant because that's how I like it, with this big bib front. I say it's a really simple sort of design. I try to make it so it's pretty much rectangles and squares. It's the easiest way to do it. With a couple of buttons here just to hold it all up. Now there are a couple of things that I would consider changing, or something I've got to make a change to. One of them is the length of these. I've not worked out what length I need to cut these to, so these ones are really long and I probably just need to trim them down and just sew the end off. And the other thing is to do with the back. I'm going to step a bit forward, so maybe I'm about to show you this a bit easier, but on the back you can see where the crossover is, and you can see I've not got it all squared up. Now it does sit fine like this. It's not a problem with the way that this sits, and it's on there fine. But obviously I want to make it look so it comes, you know what I mean? So it comes off from the edge there properly, because at the moment it looks a bit scrappy. So I need to work out how to change that just to make it a bit neater, so it's right, and not looking quite so scrappy. Like I say, these are a bit too long, and green buttons on this one. It's not called green buttons. And yeah, and then at the sides I've got these, I did the poppers again, the snaps. I prefer that, just seems to sit better I think, rather than the buttons. I could put buttons on there. First time I made it, I put buttons on. So there we go. Yeah, I say I have made this 3 times now. The first time I made it was I used a curtain. I upcycled a curtain to make it. The second time I made it, I used that Laura Ashley, which was thrifted from a thrift store, charity shop, whatever it might be that you call it, op shop in some places. For me, it's a charity shop, so I thrift them places, and that's where that material came from. This material, though, this is, as it were, a really good material that was given to me. So obviously somebody paid some money for this, but it is a really lovely material. It sews up really nicely. Oh, the other thing I was going to show you, if you can see this, let's stand back. I've hemmed it by putting bias tape on there and turning it up, and that's how I hemmed the bottom. Just seemed the easiest way to do it. Didn't add the bulk to it, so it keeps it, you know, stops there being too much bulk on the bottom there. But there we go. Yeah, I like it. It's comfortable. It's really comfortable actually, and really nice to wear. And even though it's sort of open, if I layer it up with, you know, some tops underneath, jumper on top, then it's brilliant. A pair of really thick tights, and there we go, ready for the winter. But also good for the summer as well, won't it? Yeah, I do like this one. I need to make it again, I think. Just sort out that back bit and it'll be fine. Now I have been working on something else. It's actually a project I'd already started a while ago. It is my Butterick 4669 corset. There we go, which I'm doing that version C, which I started quite some time ago. Basically I've got my main parts together, and what you end up with is 3 panels basically. You've got the back panel with its lining and interfacing on there, and then you've got the it's 2 panels because you've got a front piece and a side piece, and they've come together. So what I've been doing is the putting the bias tape on, because that's got to go on now. The bias has got to be sewn on. Created a nice big roll of bias tape myself from my lining material, which you can see, nice sort of white lining material. It's actually got a slight hint of blue to it, mainly because I washed this material with this material, and I did it on purpose, knowing that it might run slightly, because this was like proper white, and I wasn't too happy with it being too white against this. So actually it has tinged it off a little bit to a slight blue colour, so I'm okay with that. That's fine. That's makes it how I want it, really, I suppose. So I made a load of bias tape, and now I'm sewing it on. Now I did start to try and have a go with the sewing machine, but I found that the sewing machine didn't like it very much. I think it's partly to do with the thickness of this, because there's more than one layer. I mean, this piece here is my main material, my sewing interfacing and my lining. But this piece here that forms the very front, where it's going to have the holes in for the lacing, I actually put another layer, and I put in an iron-on interfacing onto this material. So I've got my main material, what's got iron-on interfacing, then I've got my sewing interfacing, then my lining, just because I wanted that bit more structure in there if I'm going to have holes that are going to pull on it. So there's quite a few layers, even though it's not particularly thick, but my sewing machine is just not quite liking it. It's having a bit of difficulty with it. So I've resorted to putting the bias tape in by hand and sewing it in by hand. And I think it's coming out quite nice, because the other thing about that is that there's no stitch line. I don't have a stitch line going along on that outer side. So that's quite nice. It's going to look much more nice and flush, you know. At least I think it does anyway. And the inside, even though there is a whip stitch there, that's not really going to be seen, is it? Because it's on the inside, so that's what matters. So far I've done the top and bottom of this piece. I've done the top of this piece. I've got to do the bottom. I've also got to do this side here. This side gets sorted out when it gets attached to the back. And of course the back has got to have bias tape on it all round. So that's quite a big piece. So hopefully this is enough, or more than enough, to do all that. I certainly hope so, because I don't want to have to make any more bias tape. It's a pain in the backside, quite honestly. But yeah, I do love this material. The pattern on this is just so nice. And I know I've shown you this before, but it is just magic, isn't it? Look at that. That's just so gorgeous. It's a lovely material, sort of medium, light to medium weight cotton, 100% cotton, and it's just such a lovely material. Absolutely brilliant. Now I know that with this, if I was to put it on the machine, I'd do it a lot quicker, but I know that some people do prefer to do the bias by hand. You know, for you folks out there, that hand sewing the bias tape on just makes a much nicer effect. So, you know, if that's your jam, then brilliant. Because I must admit, I'm finding it really nice to do it that way. It's quite relaxing. Yes, it does take a lot longer, but I am finding it quite nice and relaxing to do, to put that bias tape on. So yeah, brilliant idea, brilliant job, and hopefully won't take too many days to get that sorted. Mind you, I haven't got the eyelets sorted for this. I can't decide whether I should put holes in, do little holes and then stitch round and just stitch it that way, or whether to get the actual proper eyelets, you know, the ones you hammer in. I haven't decided yet, because I don't have any eyelets to do this as yet, so I'd have to get some if I was going to do it that way. And there's also the ones up here, because the shoulder strap comes over and joins that bit. Where's the mock-up? There we go. There's my mock-up piece. Like you see, you have that shoulder bit comes round, joins onto the front with a bit of lace. So I've not yet decided how I'm going to do the holes for that, but I'm sure I will once I've got all that stuff on and I've got it together as a single piece, and then just hopefully finish it off. I hope to finish it off by the end of the weekend, but you know, who knows? I might get distracted with something else, but never mind. So yeah, that's my makes, or what I've been doing this week. So that is it really for my week. Nothing else to tell you about. I don't know what I've got planned going forward from that. You know, hopefully get the corset done, and then what? I don't know. I haven't really decided. Not really sure what I'm going to be doing next. It's a bit of a sort of as I feel, I suppose. I suppose I've got some things that I need to do, or I've started, that are UFOs. Don't think I've really got any much in the way of whips except for that corset. So I don't know. I don't know what I'll be showing you next week. The corset, hopefully, but that's about it at the moment. So there we go. That was my week. So nothing more to say, except if you like this video, please do give me a thumbs up. Just click that thumbs up button down there. That really helps. Subscribe. That way you'll get notifications of when my videos come out, especially if you click that bell icon. Then you'll know, and then you'll get told when I upload, which is normally a Friday, but you never know. I could do some other day as well if I feel like it. And please do comment. I do love reading your comments. It's always nice to hear what you're up to, what you've been doing, what you're thinking about what I've done. And if you wish to chat amongst yourselves in the comments, please do, because that's why we come here, isn't it? To make that connection and to get on and build that group and build those connections with each other. So I think it's just left me to say thank you very much for watching my video, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye.
Brilliant.